from India with from University of Uttar Pradesh Technical University. And then I started my GATE preparation for PSUs. And in the mean, I qualified GATE twice, and I also prepared for engineering civil services. And in the meantime, like I felt that I need to do something else. So in that process also I have given GRE. So then I started preparing for GRE as well, and I was able to achieve a good marks in GRE, and I started my master's degree in North Carolina State University here in Raleigh. And I just finished my graduation. I graduated in May 2021, and I will be going to start my first job from 19th of July this month. Uh, but the main thing I need to talk to you is like I personally feel that there is some lack of focus in me. It's like whenever I want to start something, my mind just wander off somewhere else and start thinking uh, different things. So that is one of the main problem that I faces. And the second thing is like uh, whenever I started something and I do something and I feel that there is a mistake that I made in that work. Then I realized like there is I should have done it better if I know something more or like something. So that things like runs in my mind. And the third problem is like I feel there is less clarity about my career path and like the where I want to go or something like that. Yeah, I am just going with the flow kind of.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Okay. Okay. So Harshit, one thing is sure that you have told me. Just give me 1 second. Yeah,
Where's the eraser?
inside.
Oh.
Just cross it and write somewhere else. You can just cross it and write. Okay. Yeah, sure. So I think one of the thing like talking to you and what you told me about yourself after you graduated, looks like you were trying different things,
Yeah.
right? Whether they worked out or not, or whether it was your decision to come here for certain reasons. One thing is for sure is um, that you always thought you as a person always thought about exploring new things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think this is what you, I mean, here is the thing, what you are telling me, I don't think is unnatural or very different. If I see myself, um, when I was when I was at your side, I would say more or less I was the same. And the
Mhm.
reason is, career or life is something that nobody knows. You can't plan for it. I mean, you can try your best, but trust me, if I ask you 5 years back, have you ever thought about where you are today? Did you plan for that? The answer would be no.
Yeah.
So 5 years down the road, what you would do, where you will end up, really, to be honest, nobody knows. I think what you can do is plan best for yourself. I mean, one of the other thing that is, I think that is coming to mind talking to you is very quickly is maybe one of the reason is you are not happy or satisfied where you are or what you have achieved. That could be one of the reason you think that you can do much better than that.
Yeah.
That could be one of the reason why most of the time our mind swings around so much.
Mhm.
But as I said, it is very, very I mean, at this point of time, I would say it's very difficult to say with a very certainty where you will end up or what will happen to you. If you are not happy with your achievement, let's say, or you're not satisfied, I would say, with your achievement right now, I would definitely advise that uh, think more about what you really want to do. One of the reason, here's the thing, one of the reason of what I have find out is lot of people, sorry, lot of students who come to US,
Mm-hmm.
they come with this idea of going to these great universities. Again, the perception,
Mm-hmm.
because you are in India, right? And this is what has been perceived by every student. And when you come here, you feel the next person is exactly like as you. And
Yeah.
not everyone is able to achieve the the glory as you expected,
Yeah.
at least at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And as a master's student, I'm assuming most of the students have to take loans and all that. You
Mm-hmm.
are then bound to take a job which you probably don't enjoy or you don't like, or you have to rush into things. And the loan is one of the biggest reason towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, okay, if I have to do this, then why I came here, paid so much money, and then
Yeah.
I'm working for this ABC LLC, and nobody have knows about that.
Yeah.
Not many people, here's the thing, not many people end up going to, uh, if I have to say, Intel, where that's where most of the students go from NC State anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But even with those people, not everyone is doing many amazing things. You end up working in a what they call it, in a shop, more or less. So my personal advice to you in this case would be, if that, again, if that is the case, because I'm still, it is hard for me to understand your question, but I see a sense of frustration here. But if what I told you, if this is what the ballpark you are, or you, what that's your, rightly pointed out your problem, my advice would be is, if you are a person who thrive to do great things, who really want to, what is after next, what after next, I would say, work in a company, whatever company that is,
Yeah.
right? Work for a few years, and then try to go for an MBA from a good school,
Okay.
and and that will really accelerate your progress. But if you, as a master student from NC State, working in some company, if you look at the growth from this point, you will see it's going to become very stagnant. To be honest with you, it will become stagnant, and then you will always have that question,
Yeah.
that I am not able to, let's say, for example, a lot of people get frustrated, like, I am not, should I go for higher studies or not? Because, that's another perception that people has, that, if I have a PhD, I don't know what I will become, but that's also a falsification. But what I'm trying to tell you is, like, um, I think in your case, it's important. If it is important for you to pay your loan and all that, do that, to clear those things out as soon
Mm-hmm.
as possible.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing would be if you didn't had a job, and a
Yeah.
lot of students don't, right? So if you have a job, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Learn there. I'm pretty sure whatever the company is, you will learn, you will do best. But I would say that if you're not happy, if here's the thing, if what I'm saying is, if this is not one of those companies like Intel or all those, this is one of those companies nobody knows about, and it's a startup, could be in a startup and all that, I would
Mm-hmm.
say for next 3-4 years, all you need to do is learn as much as you can, and especially if it's a startup, you will learn a lot.
Yeah.
You Sometimes you will find it's a very boring job. It comes with every job, to be honest with you. But I would definitely advise you is, I would say 3 4, or or as soon as you getting close to that 5-year mark,
Hmm.
go for an MBA program.
Okay.
That would really jumpstart your career, another step in your career for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm still trying to gauge your question because those are very subjective questions. You know what I mean? Uh, um, but
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the actually the thing is, I feel like I would have done it better, but at, at now movement, that movement has already gone. I feel that.
No,
So.
but as I said, I feel that too, even now,
Mm,
right? But see, what I'm saying is, you don't know where you land up. But I think it's important to have a fire inside your belly. It's very important because that's what um, motivates you to move on, keep moving, right? So that is very important. But
mm,
if you ask me, Amit, my dream job would be to be an engineer at SpaceX, let's say, and
mm,
I would have been professionally very happy. That's
mm,
not going to happen.
yeah.
That's not going to happen for many reasons. Not that you're not capable, for many other reasons. So you have to also understand that there are certain things that come in this country which has nothing to do with. I mean, I'm talking about the core sector.
Yeah. 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 For
I'm not talking about.
mechanical.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the core sector, not from like if you are a computer science or major or something else. But as I said to you, is there is a that don't let that sort of ambition or frustration stop your career. I would say if that sort of a thing stops you, that's the reason I said doing an MBA, moving to a consulting firm, McKinsey, Deloitte, and whatever works, that might be more helpful.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say because as I said to you that if you, if many students who come up with a dream here saying that okay, I will work for Tesla or I will work for SpaceX or something else, and or Lockheed or Boeing or or those big shots company, and it doesn't happen. Has nothing to do with your capability. I mean, it didn't happen to me when I was a student too. It took me 10 years to get job at Lockheed, and the day I got this job is the day I had US citizenship. And I will be very honest,
Hmm.
it doesn't happen otherwise.
Yeah.
It will not happen. That's what the nature of the job is.
Yeah.
So
That is.
so and then have to go through immigration hurdles, and that's a different story completely. That's a totally different side of. So that's another sort of a frustration that stops your growth in that sense. So that's what I'm saying is like being in a core sector, just be cautious. That sort of a thing is gonna frustrate you, and you will always be saying, oh, I why I can't. It's always easy to complain, but rather than work on it and make it happen. So that's the reason I told you is if today you feel that way, it's not a good idea to be frustrated after 5 years, rather than say, okay, if this doesn't work out, I need to work it now and move on to other direction. Because
Mhm.
the other reason I said, if you had your PhD, then the chance of you getting a citizenship or a green card is easy, is still better. But as a master's, there is no chance. So that's
Yeah.
another. You always most likely, I would say it's not like it's not cannot happen, but most likely, the if I look at the data, the chances for a master's student getting a green card is
Mm.
almost zero.
Yeah.
In their lifetime.
Mhm.
So that then that's going to stop you in to do many things.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you are a person who is really thriving to do or want to do great things, um, I mean, I also know many students, to be honest with you, who are on H1 core sector, core people who have a degree in core sectors. are on H1 working for a company, but in the garage they are working on their startup. I know also students like that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
as I said, nothing gonna stop you to do things. But
Mm.
uh, mm, but even for that person, getting a job in a SpaceX is not possible. You can have your startup, but getting a job in a SpaceX is because of visa is not possible.
Mm. Yeah. So do you have any suggestion on the focus thing, like how to do like more to be more focused on some of the things? And
I mean, one of the things that will work, um, for that have works for anyone
Mhm.
is, you have this job, right?
Okay.
Make up your mind that this is what you're going to do for next 2 3 years.
Mm.
I mean, don't think too much. I would say, if it works better for you, think about those students who don't have a job, and probably you're going to feel much better. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to focus on my job because I'm at least fortunate to have a job, and then I'm going to learn it, and then see where I can go from here.
Yeah. Because like during my masters, when I talk to my seniors and like to my colleagues, they usually say like select one of the thing that you want to do and just go ahead with that. But I never actually found that thing. uh,
That's very. I mean, as I said, coming from India, especially, it's very common. I mean, if you look at my academic or career path, I didn't stay in even one degree. All
mhm.
my 3 degrees are in mining, civil, and mechanical.
Yeah.
Bachelor's, master's, and PhD. And then I moved to materials, and then I started working for fuel cells. Then I worked for a software company, and then I had a startup, and then I worked for a space company. So to be honest with you, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. As
Okay.
far as as far as you know what you want to do, so I know what. So for example, here's the thing: I know what I'm good at.
Mhm.
Let's say I'm good at in making motor. As an example, I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Then I can make the motor for cars. I can apply that phenomena, for electric vehicles, for aeroplanes, for oil and gas, for maybe that phenomena, maybe those principles I can use to make better iPhones. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, as I said to you, um, and still today, if you ask me, I mean, what you like to do, that's a very philosophical question also. We are going towards that, but what I'm trying to say is too early for you to become philosophical and say, I like to help people. I would say
Mhm.
help yourself first, and then you can help people.
Yeah.
You understand my point? And it's very easy to, these days, to get distracted also, because you open YouTube and you see people doing crazy things, and just sitting at home. It feels at least like that, right? But I would definitely tell you it's good that, if it works for someone, but those are only very few actually. But if you look at the majority are the ones who are going to work and getting job done. And that's the reason you have cars and cell phones and headphones and everything, right? So my point here is I would what I'm all I'm trying to tell you is it's too early for you to be philosophical or wander around. Maybe after 10 years,
Mm.
that would be okay. But I
Okay.
would say right now it's too early because you haven't tried and tested anything.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say, for me, my advice to you would be is, number one, have fun, because this COVID time, everybody is stuck at home, and the crazy thoughts can come anytime. The only person your friend is your computer, and that's like opens the world, and you can then are looking at everything. Number two is, if you have a job good for you, focus on that. Make sure you don't lose that job.
Mhm.
Okay. If you have a loan or anything, please pay off those,
Mhm.
because even if you get into those philosophical thoughts, you don't want to lose job, and because of that, you don't want to have loan on your head, because those thoughts will be gone anyway.
Yeah.
So pay off those. And once the day you are done paying off your student loan, I would say plan ahead what's your next step would be, because I would say once you're in your this job or company, you will realize within a year or so whether you want to be here or whether you want to move on.
Hmm.
Maybe I would say maybe 2 3 years. Usually what happens if you're working in a company, any company, 3 years I would say is the time where you, if you're smart enough, you can learn most of the things, and then you are like, what can I do?
Hmm.
So my as I said, my advice in that case would be is like um, you can think about an MBAs, or if you feel like you have this entrepreneur skill. But also once you have a job, job is 9 to 5. You can
Yes.
always come back home and rethink about what you want to do next. Invest in your you can invest in your education, or you can think of something else too. But
Yeah.
as I say, it's too early right now.
Hmm.
Too early to have these sort of a thoughts. As far as focus is concerned, I don't blame you. I'm like that. Most of the people are like that.
Hmm.
I would say mm, the older you get, uh, the wiser you become. That's also true. I mean, think of when you were in high school or 12th grade versus engineering versus now, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I would say that's also a part. That's a part of learning. Nobody can teach anybody that sort of thing.
Okay.
But so far, I think things are fine with you. But I don't see any issue or any problem here. But I would definitely tell you is one piece of advice which will be very very important is um, make sure to have a mentor whom you can go and talk periodically, at least about. So it's like, you do your physical checkup, right? It's
Yeah.
like your career checkup, I would say. It's very important to have a mentor, because that person can give you an advice and can tell you, especially a person you can trust, and also I would say you look upon him. Like I have my mentors that I talk to every 2 months. I say, hey, I have this question. What do you think?
Hmm.
And it's wonderful. Rather than being sick for 10 days, you go to a doctor, get a medicine, and then save that 9 days. You know what I mean? So it's something like that in the career too. It's always important to have mentors. So try to find your mentor within your company,
Hmm.
or anybody. To be honest, a mentor could be, mentor is different than your idol. Idol could be Mahatma Gandhi or Arnold Schwarzenegger you never met, or a person who's died. Mentor is something, is more than, is especially not your parents. Your mentor could be a person whom you can go on a daily basis, if I have to say, and talk independently, have an independent opinion, and because that you will realize that is extremely helpful. you
Okay.
you are most likely to make less mistakes,
Hmm.
and then move on very quickly. And also, uh, if you ask me, a lot of the students who talk to me, I always have found is they already know the answer. What they're really looking at is some sort of an assurance, more or less, and that's perfectly fine, because as I said, I do the same thing. There's nothing wrong in it.
Yeah. And with the mentor thing, like uh, I also like feel that I need to find a mentor, but like I feel that how to find the mentor, and
It's a
it's
tricky
like,
process. No,
yeah.
it's like keep looking. Like say
Okay.
you work in your you have been to NC State. Do you find
Hmm.
some? Do you know someone whom you can look upon? As I said, a mentor could be a person, maybe a professor in India. Doesn't matter. Anybody for that matter. A mentor could be a person who is very wise and works as a shopkeeper. Doesn't matter. A mentor could be for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for mentor for a career reasons, I would definitely advise to you is it's always good to have a mentor in a company you are working,
Okay.
who can really advise you what you should do, because a mentor should be a person, if you're extremely good, he's the person who should tell you, dude, you need to move out because you are so good. If I was you, this is what I advise. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying is like, keep looking. It's a very difficult. I am, as I said, there is no workshop for mentor. And a mentor also has to be a person who is not like mentoring you because he's charging $25 an hour. It has to
Yeah.
be selfless. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It has to, because it has to be selfless, and then only he or she can give you a better advice.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so actually good talking to you.
Yeah. Same here.
I hope if everything is worked out good for you, but
Yeah.
keep in touch, and
Okay.
as I said, I best of luck for your job too. It's a
Thank you.
good news. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.